past couple of years, but it's kind of a good idea to how it's different to a normal boxing gym, how it's developed at the time that boxing's become really popular in the UK at the moment.
Cool. So it started, Shane Collins was the founder of it. Shane came up with the concept, and there's also Joe and Ronnie. So those three guys opened KOBOX. We're in Chelsea at the minute. That was our first location. And it was kind of, the concept behind it was making boxing more accessible to the general public. Sometimes it can feel a bit intimidating going into your normal sort of ABC or something like that. If people have never done it before, they think they're going to get beaten up or whatever. So the idea from the get-go was take the contact aspect out and give people sort of the benefits of boxing without sort of having to fight as such. So the way the classes work, you know, each punch is given a number, it's projected up on the wall, so people are introduced to it, they can do it sort of at their own pace. Once they feel more comfortable, I mean, we've had, I just asked Shayna, 31,000 people have come through the door, and a lot of them have gone on to do white collar fights, some have gone down the amateur route, so I think it's a nice bridge for people. Yeah.
So what is your background in for boxing? So obviously you've been training for quite a long time.
Yeah, I'll show my age.
And also that you've trained with a lot of big trainers as well.
I've been fortunate, yeah.
To do that. So tell us a little bit about that.
About me, so I started training when I was 5 years old. I started with martial arts originally. Boxing was kind of force-fed to me. Like, I grew up, my dad was obsessed with it, so we'd always watch the fights, and he was less keen about me doing it. So I started with martial arts, so I was very happy about me doing that. I naturally progressed into the boxing, and to compete, it was a little bit of sneaking around and about for the first bit until my dad saw the tapes of my fights, and then he was happy, and they were very supportive. And yeah, so I boxed throughout my teens. I tried for 2000, I didn't make the final team for Sydney. So in doing that, I kind of failed school a little bit. So I went back to school, I didn't turn over. So I didn't turn pro with the boxing. And after I finished my school, I moved to China. From there, the Thai boxing was a lot bigger, so we'd fight pro rules over there. And once I started traveling, I started going to a lot more gyms, and I should backpedal a little bit. Also too, while I was doing the boxing back in Australia, I was very fortunate with one of the martial arts gyms I was at, and it was, MMA was just kind of becoming big at that time, but they were very much into cross training, so we did a lot of disciplines which really helped the boxing. I feel like the instructors I met through that really helped the boxing. So the boxing has always been my soul, so I did a bit of everything, but boxing was like my thing. And so I just continued. I was fighting with the Thai. At the end of my career, I went into MMA. The ground game is not my specialty. So definitely a boxer by trade, by heart. Yes, and as far as coaches, I've been very lucky with who I've got to train with. I try and get out to train with Floyd Senior as much as I can. He's fantastic there. I trained with Mr. Salas, Ismail Salas, the last time I was there, only briefly, and he's in London now. I really got to try and track him down. Thanks a lot for the training. And yeah, with the MMA, we got to train with Georges St. Pierre, Vanderlei Silva when he came in December. So yeah, I've been lucky.
So how do you think that boxing has changed over the last, say, 5-10 years? Because obviously in the UK now, boxing is like it's so popular with so many British fighters fighting at so many different levels and actually ranking world champions. You've got them. Although you've got the hardcore fans who've been like watching a lot of boxers for years and years and years. How do you think, from people that you're training and your actual perception of the situation?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's really good to see how big it is. I mean, even advertisements for God knows what. The people are wearing boxing gloves now and stuff, so it's exploded. And I think there's a number of reasons for it. A place like this, for example, some of the models do it, so people want the body, what got them that body, boxing. Okay, so you get that stream, and then obviously you've got so many champions being churned out here, so you've got the people that see that, people like AJ, they follow that, you know, the commercial value of those. Then you've got your diehard fans that see it's just exploding, so you've got all these streams just feeding in. It's fantastic because, again, you've got a place like this which will cater to one aspect of it, or then you've got the people that want to be the next Olympian, they'll go here, or you've got the people that want to turn, you know, so I feel like there's just so many different avenues. It's changed so much. Back in the old days, it was very much, you know, the spit and sawdust gyms was all you got, and you basically knew exactly what you were getting. It was sort of, that was it. And now, I mean, and obviously it's a good and a bad thing. It's opened up a lot, so you've still got to be very careful with what you're getting yourself into. But I think it's fantastic. The options available these days are just absolutely brilliant. And from a boxing fan, boxer, whatever perspective, it's brilliant to see.
And what fight this year have you most enjoyed and why?
Wow, that's a $1 million question. All right, so the atmosphere at AJ Klitschko was phenomenal, obviously. That was brilliant. I was dying for Canelo and Triple G. Being there, that was great. That one has something truly, like, that was a really pick 'em fight, you know, going into that. So that I loved. And the Lomachenko-Rigondeaux fight, moving forward, if we fast forward a couple of weeks, is another one that I think is just a to die for fight. Yeah. So, but we've been so lucky this year. It's been amazing.
Yeah, this year has been a phenomenal amount of fights, and I'm sure that next year probably
Well, it's looking that way, right?
topping it. And where do you think that boxing will go? Do you think it'll reach its peak and then go and then die down again? Because at the moment with any sport, there's always like sports which actually go up and down and fluctuate. But boxing seems to be going up and up. So do you think it will plateau, or will it kind of like remain? Because if you're looking at different boxers and different kind of promotions, you've got Matchroom, you've got Box Nation, you've got Cyclone Promotions, you've got the guys in the States, you've got Golden Boy, you've got
Top Rank, you've got
all of them are doing that, and week in and week out there are boxing, and not just small boxing fights, there are big ones which are happening. Do you think people get to the point where it's
saturated?
It's saturated.
I mean, to be honest, that's a really interesting question, and I wonder about it a lot myself. Like personally, I think if we rewind a bit, if you remember, you used to have to wait quite a while for the big fight. We went to a bit of a plateau, and the MMA, UFC, they were really, and I think that kind of made the boxing, the whole cards improve. Remember, you used to have the main card, the main event was amazing, and then the undercard, not always as strong. And I feel like there was a bit of a crossover that with the UFC, it sort of upped its game a little bit. And now I think, personally, a little bit, the UFC got a bit saturated. They were coming out a bit too often. I think boxing has found the perfect mix. And I mean, I think you can say, because as long as you've got the faces, people are going to stay interested, right? So a lot of the fighters, I mean, we haven't even touched on Spence or, you know, your Thurman, you know, they're still young and getting into the spotlight a bit. So as long as there's the interest there, I think the people stay. I hope it stays popular.
Yeah, like you said, there are a lot of, like you said, the welterweight division is so open at the moment.
Yeah.
There are massive fights to be had, and these guys are not shying away from these fights.
Yeah.
Whereas like the British fighters, you've got the American fighters, you've got the Mexican fighters, you've got the Eastern European fighters. There's so much kind of diversity with the stars that they're actually fighting against. It's like, it just opens up a different kind of boxing match. If you've got two Americans fighting, you've got a British and American fighter, it does that. And like, I'm sure all the promoters are really excited when they see some new talent who has never been like beaten yet is kind of promoting and having those big fights as well.
Yeah.
But what are your, I mean, like women's boxing is like it's also kind of like blowing up as well.
Yeah.
We've got Katie Taylor and we've got Savannah Marshall who's out in the States. So
Yeah.
do you think that one day that, I mean, like from my experience, that women's boxing is up there, but there's still quite a long way to go.
Yep.
But what are your views on how do you think that women's boxing can be on the same platform as men's boxing at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, again, not to draw parallels all the time, but if we look over at the UFC, Ronda Rousey, I mean, immediately became one of the biggest draws in the sport. And there's, I mean, Katie Taylor, the skills, you can't, it's difficult to even say male, female, but she is just an amazing boxer. It doesn't matter what, the level of the competition in the women's just fantastic. So, I mean, I don't see why, obviously, you know, it's not going to be certainty because the male is long-standing, you know, there's a long tradition of that. You've got diehards that will only follow that. A lot of people too, they may enjoy it, but you very often hear people, oh, I can't watch girls punch you.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not for everybody,
it's
right?
Still getting there.
Exactly.
Times are changing, so.
Exactly. So, and it can, in a blink of an eye, same thing with Ronda. So, I mean, why not?
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
But I'm sure that we will be talking again in the next couple of months.
Thank you so
very
much. Thanks a lot, guys. Thank you.